Okay, so this is my presentation for the Applied Behavior Analysis Graduate Academic Certificate. You can get it online at University of North Texas. It is the certificate is 8 classes, 24 credit hours. It'll cost about 11 grand, and it starts January 11th. Um, I'm gonna go into the program, but first I'm gonna skip to the end of my slides to kind of clarify what all this stuff is because there's like a bunch of letters involved in this applied behavioral tech situation. Um, okay, so applied behavior analysis graduate academic certificate, the one that is at UNT. Um, is suitable for students who are currently working on or have completed a master's degree, BACB degree requirements for those wishing to take. So basically, what this, if I'm understanding correctly, it's like additional licensure that'll go with your master's degree, kind of like when you get your LPC and then you add an EMDR certificate so that you can do that type of therapy. So you have to pay extra once you take the test, but it gives you just more requirements. So the certificate program is designed to provide knowledge base for effective, compassionate practice and behavior analysis. It's flexibly designed to allow students to take from 1 to 3 classes per semester, best fit with their schedule. So it's online, so that'll give you some flexibility. Now this is where I started getting confused. This is the licensure sort of statement saying basically you can take this course, you can get this certificate, it'll work in Texas, but if you move out of the state, your licensure may be totally different, which is kind of true for all therapy stuff. The top careers and job titles in this industry, let's see, we've got the board certified behavior analyst, BCBA, regular behavioral analyst. Then there's the tech, which again, I'll get into that breakdown later. Behavior analyst, behavioral health specialist, early intervention specialist, educational consultant, curriculum coordinator, clinical director, BCBA. See what I mean? How the letters are just like a little different than the first one. There's even a BCBAD, which is the doctorate level, and then there's one with like a little lowercase a, which means you have a bachelor's but not a master's, and you have to be supervised. It's kind of confusing. I'll get to it at the end. And then you can also work in education. So it has a lot to do with people with like behavioral disorders like autism or, um, you know, uh, like mental health, behavioral stuff. Okay, well, right here. Children with autism. Employees in large corporations or government organizations, patients in healthcare institutions, people with developmental or intellectual disabilities, students in educational settings. Basically, anywhere there are people, there's an opportunity to use behavioral analysis to improve the environment and help them reach their full potential. Let's see, this just goes a little bit more into detail about the program. Um, all coursework must be completed online. No scheduled class meetings or exams. Courses are offered around the clock, 7 days per week. Flexibility designed for full or part-time. This will get you ready for your 5th edition ABAI verified course sequence. There's like different requirements, different tests. There was a 4th edition, but it expired in 2019. It's offered as part of our Masters of Arts Applied Behavioral Analysis program. And it's also offered separately as a graduate academic certificate if you have a psychology based degree. So that's the one I was talking about. It sounds like it's like in addition to, like if you were trying to be an LPC or something. It probably just helps you make some more money and gives you a little bit more options on what you can do. And then here's the courses that you will be taking. Let's see. And these are the qualifications for the exams. These are the different certificates and different exams that you would need to take. So definitely pay attention to this part because, like I said, it gets a little confusing. Because some of it is not affiliated with university, like here where it says BACB is not affiliated with UNT or any other university. It's an independent agency. It's like its own licensure, basically. So you have to do both. The minimum qualifications for those taking the BACB exam are master's degree or higher in psychology, education, or behavioral analysis. Then you can take the exam. So again, it's sort of like when you have a psychology bachelor's, but then you can go ahead and take the LCDC exam and skip over some of the hours that you would have to work because of that. You know, it's sort of, if I understand this correctly, it seems like that's what it is, additional licensure. So if you're interested in the Master of Arts in Applied Behavioral Analysis, here is some information on that. This would just give you the master's degree in this field. Oops, sorry. Go back. Now, this is again a little bit more information on the licensure there. There's the courses for the master's is here. This is all at North Texas, okay? Now, because I got confused as I was reading it, like which is what, towards the end, I posted just sort of like what is the breakdown between all these things. This is the board certified behavioral analyst. This is the one I was talking about that's like just the general, has its own organization you have to be licensed through. It's a graduate level certification in behavior analysis. Professionals certified at the BCBA level are independent practitioners who provide behavior analysis services. BCBAs may supervise the work of a board certified assistant behavioral analysis. See how it has that little a? That's what I was talking about when it's the assistant. Or registered behavioral health tech. That's the one you don't need any college to work as. You can go in and just get a job as a technician, but you have to be supervised. So does the one with the little a. You have to have a lot of supervision hours all the time. So I went to this website. If you guys are curious and a little confused about it like I was, both of these websites give a lot of good information about the different credentials, what part of education you have to take the test, etc. Basically, the program at University of Texas is going to get you the extra certification to go with your graduate degree that would enable you to work in this field without a ton of supervised hours. Or you could go ahead and get the master's and then you would be the one supervising, if that makes sense. So anyway, click on those links and it kind of breaks it down probably better than I am. And then I also just added these descriptions about the field. This is the tech position. This is the one I was talking about that you can just go work at a place, but you have to have a bunch of supervision hours and training and continued education. And I'm sure it's like the lowest paid. So this one is the assistant next. You have to have a bachelor's degree to do this, so the pay will be a little bit better, but you still have to have quite a bit of supervision hours. So it almost makes sense to do this one plus that certificate that you would do in grad school, while in grad school, you know what I mean? And then this is the one that once you have that certificate from UNT plus your graduate degree, you'd be a BCBA. This is the test you would take for your licensure officially. So see, the BCBA has completed a master's degree program, obtained specific number of supervised field work hours, and passed the exam. Once you obtain your certification, you must receive continued training, education to sustain your credential. That's just like when you are going to become a counselor. And then this last one is the BCBAD. That's the doctorate level. That's where you're like the big, the top dog, the ICUS of the situation. So anyway, I hope I explained that okay. It was pretty confusing for me, but I got it after I went to these two websites and really got in there and understood what to do. And so if I were going to attain these credentials, if I understand it correctly, when I'm in grad school next year, I would add this in addition to my graduate school program so that I would have additional certification and could get licensed as a BACB once done with all that coursework, in addition to my LCP. It's just like additional letters that let you work in this field. Okay, that's it.